Life. It feels complicated, doesn't it? Sometimes it's like you're carrying a backpack loaded with invisible rocks, and every day you add a few more, hoping for relief that never comes. But pause for a moment and imagine. What if the path to an easier life isn't about doing more, but about doing differently? What if it's not about the hustle, but about the shift in how you approach each moment? Let's start with a principle that can transform how you experience daily life: effortless intentionality. Here's the truth. Ease doesn't come from avoiding effort. It emerges from aligning your priorities, from intentionally directing your energy toward what matters most. Most people get it backwards. They think if they just do less, life will feel easier. But ask yourself, does dodging every challenge ever make things actually better? Or does it leave you stuck, waiting for life to magically simplify itself? The real difference between those who find life easy and those who find it hard isn't what's happening around them, it's how they direct their energy. The most powerful shift happens when you stop asking, "How can I do less?" and start asking, "How can I focus more on what matters?" Think about how many decisions you make on autopilot every day. Do they align with your real values? We all do it. We scroll through our phones when we crave connection. We buy things hoping for fulfillment. We keep ourselves busy when what we really want is purpose. It's like trying to satisfy real hunger by drinking water, temporarily filling but never truly nourishing. Chapter 1. Micro-simplicity. Why do we make things so complicated? Because our brains are terrible at handling complexity. That's the honest answer. The second principle is micro-simplicity focus, breaking things down until they're so simple. Your brain can't help but say, "Yeah, I can do that." Here's something funny. Our brains hate big tasks, but they love checking things off. We're all basically squirrels, secretly gathering little nuts of accomplishment. Each micro-completion releases a hit of dopamine. Overwhelm melts into a series of small wins. The task stays the same, but your experience of it transforms. Chapter 2. Decision energy budgeting. Did you know your decision-making power is finite each day? Imagine it like your phone's battery. And let's be honest, most of us are down to 5% before lunch. This is where the third principle comes in: decision energy budgeting. Every choice you make, from what to wear, to what to eat, to which email to answer first, drains your mental resources. That's why even smart, capable people make terrible decisions when they're tired. We waste our best mental energy on trivial choices, then wonder why we're stuck when it comes to what matters. It's like using a Ferrari to deliver newspapers. Solution? Ruthlessly automate low-value decisions. Create systems, meal templates, capsule wardrobes, morning routines. Not to make life boring, but to save your mental firepower for what really counts. Look at your day. What choices are you making over and over that don't deserve your precious energy? Build a system, and your brain will thank you. Suddenly you've got the bandwidth to tackle what actually matters. Chapter 3. Present tense living. Here's a wild statistic. We spend 90% of our anxiety on problems that don't even exist. Let that sink in. We're making ourselves miserable fighting imaginary enemies. The fourth principle is present tense living. This isn't mystical or abstract, it's practical. Present tense living means solving problems that are actually in front of you, not fighting battles that only exist in your mind. Our brains are time-traveling machines, bouncing from past regrets to future fears. But the only place you can actually take action? Right here. Right now. Instead of asking, "What if this all goes wrong?" Try, "What's the actual problem in front of me right now?" It's the difference between battling an entire imaginary army versus facing the single opponent that's actually in the room. The present is where your power lives, where solutions emerge, where anxiety dissolves. And here's the twist. By fully addressing what's in front of you now, you naturally build a better future, without all the worry. Chapter 4. Anti-perfectionism. Practice. Perfectionism. It masquerades as a virtue, but it's a disease. It's like refusing to drive your car until you can guarantee you'll never hit a red light. The fifth principle is anti-perfectionism practice. Embrace good enough as the new excellence standard. Not because you're lowering your standards, but because you're finally being strategic about what deserves your full attention. Perfect is the enemy of done, and, more importantly, the enemy of started. How many projects are gathering dust in your mind, waiting for the mythical perfect moment to begin? Here's the practice. For every task, consciously decide in advance what level of quality is actually needed. Some things deserve your highest effort. Many things don't. Does that email need to be a literary masterpiece, or just clear? Does your living room need to be magazine-worthy, or just comfortable? Most of us are applying gourmet chef standards to making a sandwich. By embracing strategic good enough, you create space for what truly matters. You finish more. You start more. Ironically, you achieve more excellence where it counts. And you end up with better results than the perfectionist who's still tinkering with their first draft. Chapter 5. Integration, the daily practice. These principles aren't meant to sit on a shelf. They're tools for every single day. So how do you bring them together? Start each morning with a moment of effortless intentionality. Ask yourself, what truly matters today? Not your whole to-do list. Just the few things that move your life forward. Then, apply micro-simplicity to your most important task. Break it down into steps so small they almost seem silly. Then just do one. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Most people never start because they're too busy staring at the whole map. Practice decision energy budgeting. Identify one recurring choice you can automate today. What system will free up your willpower? Your energy is precious. Stop wasting it on trivial questions. Through the day, notice when your mind drifts from the present. Gently bring it back to the actual problem at hand, not the imagined catastrophe. Your mind will wander. That's normal. Your job is to kindly escort it back to reality. Finally, practice anti-perfectionism. Decide what level of quality is truly needed for each task. Let yourself complete things at good enough when that's all they deserve. Save perfection for the few things that truly warrant it. The rest of the time? Done is better than perfect. Chapter 6. Expectation detox. Here's a hard truth. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Neuroscience backs this up. The seventh principle is expectation detox, replacing anticipation with curiosity. Most of our disappointment comes not from what happens, but from the gap between reality and what we expected. We're always writing scripts for how things should go, then feeling betrayed when reality ad-libs. It's like getting mad at the ocean for not being flat. The practice? Notice when you're forming expectations, then swap them for curiosity. Instead of, this meeting needs to go perfectly, try, I wonder how this meeting will unfold. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about releasing your attachment to specific outcomes. When you approach life with curiosity, you discover solutions you never imagined. And more often than not, you end up with better results. Plus you actually enjoy the journey. Chapter 7. Non-resistance philosophy. Here's the next shift. Most of our energy is wasted fighting against reality instead of working with it. It's like trying to swim upstream when you could be building a sail. The eighth principle is non-resistance. Think about quicksand. The more you struggle, the faster you sink. But if you relax and spread your weight, you float. Life's challenges work the same way. When you resist what's happening, you create tension and stress. When you accept it, even as you work to change it, you operate from power. It's the difference between, this shouldn't be happening, and this is happening. What's my next move? Non-resistance keeps you focused on solutions instead of complaints, preserves your energy, and opens you up to creativity and insight. Chapter 8. Opportunity filtering. The difference between successful and very successful people? The very successful say no to almost everything. This isn't just advice, it's a fundamental principle. The ninth principle. Opportunity filtering, using the hell, yeah, or no rule. Chapter 9. Cognitive outsourcing. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. Yet, most of us walk around with brains stuffed full of reminders like overpacked suitcases. The 10th principle is cognitive outsourcing, using systems to remember, track, and organize, so your mind can finally breathe. Every item you try to remember creates cognitive load. It's like running dozens of apps in the background of your phone. It slows you down and drains your battery. Build trusted systems. Calendar apps for appointments, task managers for commitments, note apps for ideas. When you trust these systems, your brain can finally let go. The difference is profound. Your thoughts are clearer. Your stress drops. Your creativity expands. It's like walking from a cluttered room into a wide-open field where possibilities appear everywhere. Chapter 10. Fear Inoculation. Here's a secret. The size of your life is directly proportional to the size of discomfort you're willing to tolerate. But discomfort is a skill you can build. The 11th principle is fear inoculation. Like a vaccine, you build resilience by exposing yourself to manageable doses of discomfort. Most people try to eliminate fear or uncertainty. That's a recipe for a small, constrained life. The real goal is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. The practice. Regularly take small actions that scare you, but won't devastate you if they go wrong. Make that slightly uncomfortable phone call. Try the new activity. With each rep, your courage grows. What once felt frightening becomes merely interesting. Your comfort zone expands. And suddenly, life is easier. Not because you have fewer challenges, but because you're stronger facing them. These principles compound. Each one makes the others more powerful. Practice them, and something remarkable happens. Life doesn't become perfect. It becomes manageable. Then, fluid. Then easier. Like watching a tangled ball of string slowly unravel until every thread is clear. You'll notice more energy at the end of your day. You'll finish important projects instead of just thinking about them. You'll feel less anxiety because you're living right here, right now. And you'll see, ease isn't about doing less. It's about doing what matters. The transformation doesn't happen overnight. It unfolds one decision at a time, one task at a time, one moment at a time. But each step builds on the last until one day life feels fundamentally different. So which principle will you start with? Which one spoke to you? You don't need to do them all at once. That would defeat the point. Pick one. Apply it today. Notice what changes. Because the journey to an easier life begins with a single, intentional step.